people have been reaching out to the Vancouver Island Crisis Line since it began in 1970. Various forms of funding have contributed to this nonprofit organization to keep it operating over the years. But recently, they've needed to reach out for help themselves.
We've put out what we call an ask letter into the community, looking for financial support for our crisis chat and text programs. We just want to start by saying that we're really thankful for Island Health for their support over the past 23 years with our crisis line operation.
Though Island Health funds the crisis telephone line, the text and chat programs are an additional cost to the nonprofit society. This has been a major challenge with a decrease in volunteers and an increase to the size of region they serve.
With consolidation in 2010, where we're now the regional crisis line for Vancouver Island, our call volume has increased and we've expanded into crisis chat and text to be able to offer additional access, especially for youth who no longer have landlines at home for a lot of them. And those who are in remote communities, and those suffering with anxiety and depression who find it difficult to pick up the phone and call. So our chat and texting services are reaching a different target group and giving increased access for those reaching out for help. That's really crucial. And unfortunately, we're like a lot of nonprofits, needing to find sustainable dollars in order to keep these programs going.
Chat services were introduced 3 years ago and text only a year and a half ago. The response indicates that they are reaching more people.
Statistically, our crisis line, the number of calls have remained pretty steady at around 30,000 a year. Our chat and text services, just starting 3 years ago, they have increased from starting at 700 to 1,100 and now over 1,400 chat and texts in a year within that 6 to 10 time frame. We only offer chat and text 6 to 10, 7 days a week. We are getting many requests to expand those hours, but financial support is needed to sustain what we already have from 6 to 10, and even financial donations are required before we even think of expanding those hours.
The demand for mental health services is high according to recent statistics and new abilities to track data. But Dr. Paul Hasselback, Medical Health Officer for Central Vancouver Island, says this is not a new concern.
We've always known that mental illness has been one of the leading challenges in our communities. And it doesn't matter how far back we go, there's a significant portion of the population that at some point during their lives needs some sort of assistance or support. The numbers that we look at from how many people are reaching out certainly fall into that range of about 1 in 4 in our communities needing some sort of assistance for their mental well-being. In terms of is it becoming more common, we have challenges about how we do that. I think that what most people would agree to is that we're seeing more evidence of stress, more evidence of people displaying anxiety, often associated with that newer found so much to do, so many things to do, so many inputs coming in, and it does stretch each of us, much more so than perhaps our previous generation.
The crisis line services are for anyone in the community that wants to talk.
Sometimes people think you need to be in crisis or suicidal to call the crisis line or to reach out for support. But what we're looking at is people reach out for support in a continuum. It could be something small, or it could be something you're needing to get off your chest. And if you're someone supporting someone else, whether you're a parent, a caregiver, or maybe you're a counselor and you're supporting clients, sometimes you need to debrief, you need to unload. And this is a safe, supportive place where you can have an anonymous call with someone and unload some of that for yourself.
I'll keep coming back and I'll stress again that the mental illness, or lack of mental well-being is probably a better way to put it, is really, really common. And with the stresses that we're feeling, many people actually do feel very anxious, unable to get through their activities of the day, perhaps difficulty sleeping at night. Some people get to that point where they're truly feeling sad, depressed, and we're past the point, I hope, in society where people are afraid to sort of reach out and sort of say, hey, can you give me a little bit of help now? And what we're learning more and more is if you reach out earlier and ask for that help, one is that it has less of an impact on you and we can intervene earlier, provide those supports, bring you back to a level of mental well-being so that all of us can enjoy and thrive in our community.
The Vancouver Island Crisis telephone line is open 24 hours a day and text and chat programs from 6 to 10 p.m. 7 days a week. Volunteers and donations are needed and vital to this nonprofit organization. For Go on Shaw TV, I'm Kelly Robinson.